Hi, this is a little demo of what I expect you to do in Photoshop. So this, as you can see, is the new version of Photoshop. It's this Photoshop icon. And from File, I'm going to select command called Open. Open means I have an image of my sketch somewhere on my computer. This is a downloaded image from one of your submittals, and then I just open it as a file. So when I open it, I get to see this as a sketch. Now, you are by now, hopefully familiar with layers, user interface, meaning all these possible menus of what is doable. And you also heard that you shouldn't be intimidated. There's quite a few options, but everybody actually fairly quickly figures out how to navigate in Photoshop. So for everything under file is fairly typical: open, save, export, import. Edit is relatively normal stuff, except these transformations. We will go more into this. Photoshop is an image editor, so all the documents that we are working on are images, and you can do certain adjustments. Layering is a concept that was introduced in another video, so please come back and check it out. Now, filtering, applying some sort of type is text, and selection. Was also hopefully introduced in another video. I hope you went through that one. So here's what I want you to do. Now we have this really nice and clean drawing. All the boxes line up perfectly. I don't know if there are real boxes that lined up this well, but let's assume that there are. This is a very clean drawing, so it's going to be super easy. So what I want you to do is I want you to start a new layer. So you can do it multiple ways. Well, maybe we don't add the mask. Maybe just create a new layer. It could be called layer 1, but if I double click here, I can name it, and I'm going to call it Redbox. So this is going to be my current layer, and this is going to be my background layer where my whole image is input. So all the objects are actually in the background layer. So if I remove red box, you don't see any change. But if I remove background, you see that there's nothing in the layer red box. So if this is my visible layer, you see that everything is a layer background. Okay, so this little emphasis means that this is my current layer, which means I can start selecting. So if you've checked selection, there are multiple options. I'm just going to use the quickest one, which is the magic wand. So I'm going to use the magic wand. I'm going to click here and kind of selected everything on the side of this box. Yeah, except there's a tiny little area that for some reason was not selected. So I'm going to zoom in to see what happened. There's a little bit of black here. So I'm going to use this, hold shift, which means add to selection, and I'm going to add all of this up. Now I'm going to click on zoom, and holding alt, I'm going to zoom out. Okay, so this is the area that I want to have colored. I'm going to pick a color. So there are two options for colors. One is sitting slightly in the front, and the other one is sitting slightly in the back. So I'm going to click on the front one. I'm going to select a nice red color, but a light one, because we're going to play around a little bit here. This is what I have selected. I'm going to click on red box, and then under edit, I'm just going to click on fill. So I'm going to fill it with foreground color. Remember, this is the one that was slightly on top. And I'm going to press, it's going to be normal. It's not going to have any opacity. It's going to be 100% opaque, meaning it's not going to show anything behind. So I'm going to click on it, and you see I've just colored this side of the box. Okay, if I go back into the background, I can use the same magic wand. Select this side of the box, and then with the clicker, find maybe a darker red, like this one. Go back into the red box, layer, edit, fill, and fill it with foreground color. Okay, now I have two colors. I want this top one to be the darkest, so I'm going to go back into the layer, I'm going to use the magic wand. I'm going to select whatever I have here, and I'm going to find the darkest, most intense red color. Go back into the red box and use the same fill command. Okay, now I'm going to zoom out, holding Alt, and I'm going to Control D, deselect everything, and I'm quite happy with what this is. So what I want you to do is go through the whole composition, your composition, the one that you did as as a second submittal when you applied perspective. If it's not this clean, I will also post this image, or if you have not submitted it yet, I will post this image. It's going to be called 04.jpg so that you can practice with this one. Now, what I want you to practice is coloring. So applying all these colors in different layers. I'm going to create another layer. I'm going to name it green box. And surprise, surprise, everything in here will be colored in green. I want you to test multiple options. There's going to be a new tool for all those of you that have downloaded new version of Photoshop through college. Oops, I need to be in the background layer because this is where all the lines are, and there's nothing in green layer box. So I'm going to use this new object selection tool to show you how it works. See, it doesn't really work that well because the edge is really not recognized that well somehow. So it selected a lot more. Now, what I would suggest is you go back to green box and either use maybe a lasso. So the other great feature is if you just hover close to the command, you will see that there is a small intro video that will show you how to use it. So if you click on it, there will be more help on the way. I'll suggest that you check. So for the top one, I'm going to just go around and click using polygonal lasso. Been doing this for a little bit, so I'm kind of okay with this type of line, but my guess is that you guys should actually zoom a lot closer to see how close you are to the line. Like here, I think I'm covering this line, which is really not that great. So my lasso was off, and what I should do is I should actually make a new selection. So Control D, deselect, and use lasso again, going on this side of the line here. I'm going to go a little bit like this, and now this is getting closer. Now, you see these black and gray squares, or actually squares in color? And if you have been checking anything else, you should any of the videos before looking into this assignment, you should know that these are pixels. So pixels are the smallest component of an image, and they don't stand for anything particularly exciting. I'm always disappointed when I find out that pixel pixel is a shortcut for picture segment. Pixel. Anyways, so now I can go back into the green box, select some sort of a green color, and this is going to be the top, so most dramatic green color. Maybe I can make it a little bit darker. So let's see, something around here. I'm gonna select this in my green box layer and edit fill this top. So then Control Alt and zoom just to check if this works. It sure does. So I can go back into background, and if magic wand works, I can quickly select just this side. This is my medium green color. I'm going to select this one, go back into the green box layer, fill with foreground color. I think it's a little bit too close, so let me redo it again, making it a little bit lighter so that there's a lot more difference. Edit, fill, still very dark. I'm gonna move here. Now it's getting better. Go back to background layer, select this part, and now find the lightest green color that I want to use, maybe this one. Go back to layer green box and apply, edit, fill, apply the color. So I'm going to zoom out, holding Alt and scrolling my mouse. Now you get to see Control D, deselect. Now you get to see that I have colored these two boxes. Now what is important is that when I remove green box layer, there's nothing green left on a drawing. Or if I remove my red box layer, there's nothing red left on a drawing. So I can see that my objects are in correct layer. Now what I want you to do is go through the whole composition and color all the boxes in as many colors as you like and have fun with this. Okay.